Hello, I'm Jasmine Bhupal, and the book I chose to do my project on was Eats, Shoots, and Leaves by Lynn Truce. And this is a zero tolerance approach to punctuation. And at the top, if you can read, there's a quote: "You don't need to be a grammar nerd to enjoy this one. Who knew grammar could be so much fun?" And honestly, you would have to wholeheartedly agree after reading this. Um, Lynn Truce was able to bring her humor, her wittiness, and sarcasm all to the plate and create such an amazing, fun book to read and really bring a new light to grammar. Um, so, in this book, it's basically all about punctuation marks and the history of them, the uses, modern usages of them. You're really able to learn quite a bit of punctuation, which I feel a lot of people are either confused about or too embarrassed to ask questions because it is such a basic writing tool that a lot of people I feel might be just too embarrassed to ask questions. So this was really great to bring humor into it and make you feel better about yourself even if you kind of just didn't understand. So in her preface, she wrote something that I would like to share. "I don't know how bad things are in America, but in the UK, I cannot emphasize it enough. Standards of punctuation are abysmal. Encouraged to conduct easy tests on television, I discovered to my horror that most British people truly do not know their apostrophe from their elbow." And this is true even in America. Quite a few times in this book, Miss Truce does rant about how many movie titles, book titles, ask a question and they'll put no question mark at the end. Her favorite one to bring up was Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is a really great movie. And at the end of it, there is no question mark. And she was very upset about why they asked a direct question without adding a question mark at the end. So you've seen this. I mean, if you read this, it's in there quite a bit. In her next chapter, it's called The Tractable Apostrophe, and this is about 30 pages about the apostrophe, which is to Miss Truce, one of the most important punctuation marks that you can use. There is a lot you can do with it, and one quote that I thought was really funny was, "Now, there are no laws against imprisoning apostrophes and making them look daft. Cruelty to punctuation is quite unlegislated. You can get away with pulling the legs off semicolons, shriveling question marks on the garden path under a powerful magnifying glass. You name it." And it's quite true that so many people misuse these misuse these punctuation marks. It is like you're physically hurting them. And she really cares about grammar and punctuation so much that it she visualizes it. Let's see. So in this chapter, we learn that the only things that don't need apostrophes are possessive determiners and possessive pronouns. And she gives you a whole list of the different things that an apostrophe does, and she gives you examples for it, which is very helpful. And I'll go over this in my Prezi presentation as well. And this chapter was really eye-opening, especially coming from me. I really enjoy writing, but I constantly get told that my grammar and punctuation could use a lot of work. So reading this was really helpful to me, and I took a lot of notes and found it quite helpful. Now, the next chapter was That'll Do, comma, and this again is her second most favorite chapter, and it's her favorite mark. It also has a long list of things that it does, and it's very eye-opening as well. Um, there's her third chapter is Airs and Graces, and there is a quote I would like to read from it. "Ask professional writers about punctuation, and they will not start striking the board about the misuse of the apostrophe. Instead, they will jabber in a rather breathless manner about the fate of the semicolon. Is it endangered? What will we do if it disappears? Have you noticed that the newspapers use it less and less? Save the semicolon. She really brings punctuation to life, and I really enjoyed that. She sort of uses metaphors to kind of make you think about ways to better use them, and I really appreciate that. There's also a chapter, Cutting the Dash. You could see the question mark with its elegant seahorse profile takes up at least double the space on the page of an exclamation mark, yet gets on people's nerves considerably less. What would we do without it? Like the exclamation mark, it is a development of full stop, a terminator, used only at the ends of sentences. And it's her writing like this that really opens your eyes and really makes you think about grammar and punctuation, and it really opened my eyes and really re-taught me about punctuation that I didn't really think about, and a lot of things that I didn't know, like the history of them and everything. So this was a really great book to read. Thank you very much.